Hey, this is Brian B. In this video, I'm going to show you how to basically create this type of graphic. It's kind of like calligraphy, but it's got a tattoo and this rugged type of flavor in it. But at the same time, you keep it classy and it's got a lot of flow, and also it's got a hint of that graffiti style in there. So it's a combination of a lot of different things, and I'm going to break it down to show you how I created it. It says now or never, by the way. So N-O-W, I know that looks like an H. O-R-N-E-V-E-R. Okay, so N-E-V-E-R. Okay, so let me show you. Hopefully you can see this, but this is actually what I started off with. It's a type of grid that I basically have to create before I start doing the actual letters, because if I just went in and I start doing the letters without any planning, any pre-planning, it's gonna look like a mess, and you don't want it to look like a mess. Obviously it's not gonna look together and it's just gonna be bad looking. So I basically created this frame so I know what is where my letters, where they're gonna be contained, and then I drew this. It's kind of like a flowy type of grid. It's got its top part for the top line, and then the middle section for the top line, and the bottom part for the top line. Okay, so you can tell that is where the, coming back here, that's where the now goes. Okay, so it goes down and then up, down and then up, down and up, and then the middle part is the or, which is smaller, but it follows the same rule. Okay, and the bottom line, it goes down, up, down, up, down, up. Okay, so you can tell for each line there's actually 3 separate lines to it. And then the vertical slices, how this one works is I wouldn't say I winged it, but it follows less strict of a rule. What I did was I drew it down this way, and then I kind of have a vanishing point right here in my mind, although I didn't really draw it I didn't physically draw it, so to speak. I have it here actually. So it goes down like this, boom, boom, boom. So it all goes to that vanishing line. I'm not doing it very well right now, which is okay. Okay, and for these, for the or, I guess you wouldn't have to do that, but it would be good for you to follow the same vanishing point line. Okay, and then the bottom line, same thing. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, so once you finish the gridding or the planning stage of it, which is the most important part, then you can start playing around with what you want to do. So as you can see here, this is the style that I've learned previously, but I'm just going to break it down for you. This is the pillar of any specific letter. So you can tell it's got the trait, the bottom part is rounded, and it's got its gap, the gap at the bottom, boom, like that, and same thing at the top. Although for the top there's a little bit more that you can play around with, that I actually played around with. So you can tell it extends out, boom, like that. And I can make the same thing go happen with the bottom too, but this is just an example. So you can see, coming back to the original example, all the letters, they have the same trait. See the bottom, and then see the middle, it sticks out, boom. See the top, sticks out like that, boom, like that, boom, boom, boom. For the O is a little bit different. For the W, this one goes out a little bit more. And then the E I changed up just a little bit, but you can still see the similarities there, 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 there. Boom, the N, and then the R is a little bit different too. The V breaks a little bit of rule, but you can still see the similarities there. Okay, so coming back to this, what you want to do is, once you figure out the traits of your letters, what you want to do then is you want to basically create the pillars lightly, and the pillars would basically be parallel. Each line would be parallel to the corresponding one. So this would be, for this one, it would turn out something like that. Okay, so you can see, boom, and then it would go like that. Okay, so you can tell it's not exactly parallel, but it's close enough. Both the lines goes into the vanishing point. but you would do that, and then you would put in the details lightly, okay, and then you would do the same, and you would create all the actual letters, so it turns into something like that, lightly. And then from that point on, you would put in the details, so you would decide what these would look like on your actual design. So I grafted in all these things, boom, sticking out like that. And once I've completed that, then I would draw it in with a fine liner or a darker pencil, so I would get something nice and crisp. But to summarize real quick is you want to create this graphic with very strategic planning in mind. So you want to frame out what the where the border is going to be, so the macro frame, I call it, like that. And then you want to do the micro frame, so plan it out very strategically. For each row of letters, you're going to have the top guiding line, the middle guiding line, and the bottom guiding line, so it turns out nice and crisp and it looks good. And to summarize, for creating the actual letters, you want to give these traits, and you want to follow the rules for the traits. You can break the rule, or you can bend the rules, but you don't want to break the rules too much. Okay, so you create all your letters with the same traits in mind, and then it'll turn out nice and clean and consistent, and it'll look perfect. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed that, and this is the final piece. All right. So until then, this is Brian B. Talk to you soon. I hope you like this video. Make sure to check out my website to get the free Urban Design Crash Course program. In this program, you're going to learn 3 fundamental design skills and a bunch of cool stuff. Alright, so I'll see you there.